People ask me all the time, like, why is there a lack of African Americans in the classroom? Specifically African American males. This is part of the reason, part of the struggle that I went through. So looking at the data a couple years ago, they made these new tests in New York State in 2012 for the teacher certification, and the passing percentages are 72% for Caucasians, 48% for Hispanics, and 46% for African Americans. So as the classroom is getting more diverse for students, it's getting less diverse for teachers to relate to these students. If you want to take a kind of special test, whether it be math, English, history, science, health, or whatever the case may be, that test is $134. If you want to take a multi-subject certification where you can be certified to teach math, English, and science, or SPED, math, English, and science 7 through 12, 5 through 9. Each exam is 3 parts. So part 1 is $65, whether that be English. Part 2 is going to be like math, which is $65, and part 3 is going to be like arts and sciences, or just science. Total for those 3 exams is $179. Also, the educating all students, which is $92. And then they had an exam called the ALOT, which is about, I think, $92 as well, which they took out. So when you're done with this, you get your transitional B, right? And then you have to take your NTPA, right? Which is another $300. After you're done with all that, you get your initial license. Now, if you pass all of these once, you will spend from $526 to $571. Very expensive, especially if you left your old job to start teaching. It's very expensive out of pocket. Even when you're in college and you don't have any money, this is not easy to come by. Now, my experience, I did business administration for undergrad, and I joined the teaching fellows to teach. So I thought, hey, you know what? I'll do math 7 to 12. I didn't really have the background knowledge to pass this exam, which I found out later on while I was studying for it. I took the math 7 to 12 exam 6 times and failed it. That's a total of $804. Then they told me, you're credit deficient for math in undergrad, so you have to take these CLEP exams to make these credits up to graduate on time, or you can be a middle school generalist from grades 5 to 9. So part 1 was English, part 2 was math, and part 3 was arts and sciences. So I took the English test 3 times, I passed it the 3rd time. That's $195 total. I took the math part 3 times, passed it the 3rd time. That's another $95. I passed the arts and sciences on the 1st time, $65. So I spent a total of $455 there. Then I took the NTPA twice. It got voided the 1st time, and then I passed it the 2nd time. That's $600. Plus another $300 to hire someone to revise it for me to correct it. So that's a total of, hold on, let me get my calculator. That's actually not a total of $1,859 because I gotta add another $300. So I spent a total of $2,159 to get certified to be a teacher. It was a struggle, but once I seen these numbers, I was like, I would not want to be a statistic. And these kids need me. And I was always telling kids never give up, never give up. I know they struggle with taking tests, so I was like, instead of me, telling them to do that, and I can't do it on my own, I'm gonna get through this hurdle, to not only prove to myself, but to be a living testimony to my students. I also told them the story as well. I'm not gonna tell them to do something that I can't do. So that's actually what motivated me to take these exams and pass them, even though I failed them 1,000 times. I was studying every day after work, 2 hours a day. In the summertime, I was studying, and I was studying 2 hours a day after work for 2 years straight. And in the summertime, I was taking workshops, I was living in Brooklyn at the time, going all the way to deep in the Bronx to go to workshops, and I was doing the most, but it passed off. It worked out, and when I kept studying for math, I got enough knowledge to where I was able to be a tutor, and I know enough content so I could be a tutor. So it worked out in the end, Sometimes it may seem like, it's not worth it, but you never know what God has for you in the long run, you know, and it paid off for me a lot. It really paid off. So if you're going through this right now, I know you're at home. This is the perfect time to continue to study for these exams. If it means that much to you, study every day. Like, you know, don't take no time off. At least 30 minutes to an hour every day. It counts. You guys that's going through this right now, I know these first year teachers in grad school or teachers that just graduated, study. Don't give up, you know. I don't know how it is in other states, but I know in New York it's a lot. It's a lot of tests we got to take. So, yeah, stay strong.